Welcome one, welcome all to episode 292 of the Xbox Expansion Pass, recorded on Saturday, September 27th, 2025. I'm your host, Luke Lohr, the InsipidGhost, joined by my co-host, the intrepid Captain Logun. Today we'll be recapping the bigger announcements from the Tokyo Game Show. We'll be discussing Forza Horizon 6, which is announced and set in Japan, and we've got $1,000 Xbox handhelds available for you right now. Yay. Logan, we like to start the show by offering words of kindness to those who have made our gaming weeks better. But first, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. It's been a normal week of life. I just got back from the DMV because I had to go do stuff for my car for moving and whatnot. So, but yeah, still just kind of coming down from Tokyo Game Show with all the announcements and whatnot, kind of getting a gauge on how I feel about everything. And just, I don't know. We got a lot to dive into though. So I figured get into that.
Yeah, no, I would agree. It's been a big week of gaming news. You had Tokyo Game Show, PlayStation State of Play, official announcements for ROG Ally pricing. There's stuff to dive into. What's funny to me is that when I look at it, none of it feels massive, and that's okay. Like, you shouldn't have massive news every week, but it's been funny to watch different communities, different outlets, different fan bases react to their news. And people will watch a PlayStation State of Play that has Wolverine in it, and the next game from I think it's Housemarque, and just be like mid. And I'll watch the Tokyo Game Show and feel the same. But like, I understand why they're saying that. But how spoiled for choice are we if we're like, meh, so that's something that I think is kind of a deeper seated thing to look into. But it's interesting. Let's just go there. I know for sure I want to talk a little bit about those Alinea analytic emails we get where they have some of those console or those game sales. Yeah. I find those interesting as well. So, but Logan, words of kindness, my friend.
Just the patrons and the people in the Discord. Honestly, I didn't really have like anyone in particular this week that I could really think to call out. So I felt like I was just kind of segregated a lot from anyone in particular. So I mostly just I was playing Diablo 4, got back in new season, just kicked up. So just doing that, but it's good to see the conversation going in from podcasting friends as well as Discord folks talking in Discord.
Thoroughly, absolutely agree. I caught up on a few of our friends' shows. Not as many as I'd like, which I openly admit every week. I wish I had more time to check them out. But I was really happy about kind of two things that stood out. One, I know Winterboro got news, and we've got a joke for that one later on.
Did it? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. No one has talked about Winterboro in our community at all.
No,
not for months, weeks, and every day since. So
yeah,
really happy to see that announcement for Nissa, which is cool. And then this sounds so silly, but watching our kind of community friends react to the news that was relevant to them made me really happy, right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I could see some people really excited for Wolverine. Some people were really stoked about Forza Horizon. Some people were just enjoying the game they're playing. And I think it's neat. So it's such a generic, non-specific thing, but it did make me happy in a week of, just a lot of kind of swirling news stories. So take that how you will.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's give it real quick shout out to Tanissa Hauer, who is in chat. Addy0 in chat. Clutch Kwando was first today. I see our boy X Bacon Gaming, who we missed from the nerd chat this past week. A-Chick is in the house, and Red Beast. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, no, I didn't get to hear Bacon's commentary on the pricing for the Xbox and the Xbox Ally X.
That would have been interesting. I would have enjoyed his take because he tends to have very PC-centric mindsets. So that informs a lot of the spending habits, whereas I myself am more console-based. And I want that like one-size-fits-all price point, put it in, it just works. And yet I was listening to Brad Sams not even 2 hours ago. That doesn't exist anymore. You don't turn on a console, put in your game, and it work. Even in Switch territory, you inevitably turn on your console, games have updates. Got to download, got to patch this, that, the other. So it's just interesting to watch. So
Yeah, definitely. Although I am still hopeful because I know that we saw, gosh, what was it? There was something that just got announced. I just bought. I went to GameStop, believe it or not, this week, and pre-ordered the Ghost of Yotai from them.
Oh,
Not
did
because,
you?
yeah, not because I needed to, but because I wanted the physical.
Yeah.
That is like Ghost is. It's funny because I don't own Ghost physically. I don't own Tsushima physically.
Okay. There. All right. Tell them what happened in our chat when you were like, "I'm gonna play Ghost," or I was like, "What are you talking?"
Oh yeah, we had reached out with some PR and some folks with PR companies, and they had been making some offers, and I don't even remember what the offer was for a title, but I'm like, that's cool, but it's on the second, and I'm gonna be in Ghost, and you're like Ghost, and I'm like, yeah, Ghost. Like Ghost of Yotai, and you're
Is
like,
that a character? Like,
oh
yeah,
Ghost. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, like I've been so like blind on Ghost of Yotai that or Yotei, I can't remember how to say it, but I've been so like waiting for that that is the only thing that is even like on my radar right now, and I don't even care. So I went to GameStop and I pre-ordered because it's like a week away. But I pre-ordered the physical copy, which is something I haven't done for a game at like a GameStop since like probably 2018 when the Switch came out.
Yeah.
It was wild. But I was like, I really just want to have the physical of that. I really do.
See, I never care about the physical edition of the game. I care about like a steelbook or a statue or something like that.
Yeah.
I care about that part of it, but like the actual game, no, irrelevant to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I missed out on the original collector's edition for Ghost of Tsushima, which has that really cool like samurai mask. And Yotei has the same one as well, and I missed out on that. And I'm like, that's okay, I can live without it. But I kind of like the idea of having, because I have like the OG PlayStation 5. I kind of like the idea of having that physical disc. I can just pop it in when I want, and you know, if Sony decides to kill servers in the future, at least I have like the base game on disc.
Is the base game on disc?
I believe so.
Okay.
Because a lot of them
legitimate question now, right?
Right? Yeah. How do you know?
Yeah.
So
legitimate question.
But yeah, it's that's kind of what I did the other night. But outside of that, I went to an Oktoberfest for the county that I'm in now. Watched people like walking around, drinking beers, eating brats, and you know, like it was a good time.
Nice, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. I've been prepping for spooky season.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll give a shout out to Xbox specific PR. They sent me a code for Chronos. They had, I guess they had some partner codes available, and you know, we had tried to get one. We couldn't land one through Bloober, and they were like, "Here you go." And I was like, "Sweet." So I've got Chronos to work on.
That's awesome.
The one game I pre-ordered for this season was Silent Hill F. I downloaded that. Really
Not
excited.
Battlefield?
No.
What about the sales, Luke? The sales numbers.
You know, it's crazy. I'm fingers crossed that my buddy Kevin gets me Battlefield. I'm hoping that happens.
What are you giving him in return? Is this like a
years and years of me playing Battlefield, because like I've always gotten him Call of Duty, and his
that's true.
Like,
yeah, he's always like the help here.
Yeah,
gets a code.
We'll see. But I tell you what, I'm really excited to go into Silent Hill F.
Yeah,
I just love spooky. Like we're going to Scarowinds, which is like a horror spin on a theme park, which I'm really excited about. We've been watching Cabinet of Curiosities from Guillermo del Toro. You may know him from a Hideo Kojima game, if anyone doesn't know who that is.
Cabinet of Curiosities? Is this new from him?
It's on Netflix. It's exceptionally good.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I love him.
Think of it like 1 hour horror bites.
Yeah. Like,
and they're fantastic. There's
cool.
one that was bad, and the rest have been just freaking amazing.
So I'm really about that.
Thoroughly enjoying
that haunted hotel show, or that haunted mansion. It's that new cartoon that just came out on Netflix. It's all haunted and stuff, and it's like, it's cute. It's a cute like
spooky, not scary.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm down for that. Send me the name of that one.
Really good. Yeah, I'll have to find that one. But yeah,
question from Nerd Chat asking, have I started Chronos? That's Jose, and he said he's enjoying it. I heard him on the Nerd Chat recently. I have not started Chronos yet, but I'm excited to. I'm going to work through Silent Hill F first because on How Long to Beat, which shout out to that website, it's very helpful if you're an old man and your time is of the essence. Silent Hill F looks to be shorter and Chronos a bit longer. So I'm going to do Silent Hill F first and then go into Chronos, which is awesome. So I'm stoked for that one. But whereas I can play like Helldivers and Fortnite while I listen to my like grad school lectures and stuff and retain, I can't retain if I'm trying to pay attention to a story and such. So that's like designated time. Big shout out to Addy Zero for the member for 13 months. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And shout out to Clutch Kwando who says Silent Hill F is so good. I'm stoked, man. I'm really stoked.
Did you get that Daft Punk stuff in Fortnite?
No, but I am working on I've got my Green Ranger and my Power Ranger stuff. I don't have the Megazord yet because like I leveled up so much to get Green Ranger so fast.
Yeah.
You only unlock it by getting levels, so it's like I'm almost there. So.
I already got my Dragon Zord. I'm just slowly sitting around in a private game earning passive XP to get my Tommy and Green and White Ranger.
There you go. See, I'm the other way. I've got Tommy and so on. But I'm ready for spooky season in Fortnite as well.
Oh, the Fortnite stuff looks cool.
It's always good.
They got some good stuff in there. I'm waiting for spooky season and all the stuff. But we're so off track from what our actual show notes have, and we have a ton to go over. I'm curious, are you going to be playing Silent Hill F or Chronos on a handheld that is not a Steam Deck anytime soon?
Sure am not, my friend.
No.
Sure am not. Yeah, you're alluding to the big announcements, of the pricing for the Xbox ROG Ally and the ROG Ally X, which look to be, I believe, $600 and $1,000 accordingly. The Xbox reporting that the ROG Ally X is selling out and on their store. And that is an interesting verbiage, right? Like that's like saying we have player engagement because we don't know how many were available, how many were sold, that kind of thing.
I've heard 2 mil is like the number popping around.
If that's a real number, that's a great number because when you look at the number of Steam Decks on the market and the number of ROG Allies on the market, any handheld outside of the Switch, like 2 mil is a great number. If that's real, great. I will not be diving into that one. I had kind of resigned myself to backing off of purchasing one because of just life expenses, school, that kind of thing. But I look at this one. I want it. It looks cool. It's really the ergonomic grip. I firmly believe the Steam Deck is the best handheld I've ever used. I absolutely love it. And I really would love to have one. And like just full disclosure, I shot a shot and I said, hey, I know we're a small outlet. We'd love to take a look. In no way do I expect that to be a thing. And again, that's not a bad thing, right? Like we are not entitled to a darn.
We're not there yet.
No, gosh, no.
We will be.
Sure.
With the patron support.
The patrons are what keep all of these lights on, man. I'll tell you what.
Why do you have so many lights? That's the weird thing. The man has 6 lights just for his face, and he's still coming out orange. I don't get it.
Which one of us? First of all, orange is disrespectful. Which one of us? You know what? Stay on track. Stay focused, sir. But no, sincerely, I'm just looking forward to seeing how this ROG Ally is received. If theoretically Xbox does have new full next generation hardware next year, which I don't believe it will at this point. The macroeconomic conditions pushing the standard Xbox Series X into just, I think, catastrophic pricing territories. I just don't see it as a reality of this thing moving big units after its first initial push. You know, like the early adopters will always show up in droves. The Xbox One sold out right away. The Series X, I believe, sold out right away. And that makes sense when you're first available. It'll be interesting to see how this is received, but for $1,000, I just don't think it's realistic for me to go ahead and purchase one, unless there's some crazy trade-in deals, and I don't think that's happening either.
I haven't seen anything like that, but I think you're right. Like we're seeing sales and seeing like buzz to use Clutch Kwando's words here, lots of buzz in the office about the launch of the Xbox ROG Ally. I too have seen a lot of buzz, and to be perfectly fair, it kind of smacks of what we expect when it comes to kind of enthusiast press and cutting edge early adopters. Like anytime there's like sales going on for a new hardware, it's always buzzworthy. Like there's always going to be people talking about, it's like, oh man, look how many people are buying them, how many people are getting sold. It's the long term that I think we really need to take a look at. Like, what is it going to look like in 6 months? Are we still even going to be talking about this handheld? Is it going to capture the zeitgeist, which I know was a big topic last week that we were talking about, or maybe it was the week before.
Great guest, by the way, and Jesse from Xbox Era. Really appreciate him being here.
Yeah, because I think a lot of like what we're looking at with the pricing, and what a weird way to introduce the pricing too, right? Like it wasn't in the actual showcase. You had to wait like 12 hours to get a press release. And even then, Best Buy's API was leaking information because they were getting set up for pre-orders, and Wario and them had all scrubbed the internet and found out that what the prices were going to be before we even got the press release and pre-orders went live.
It makes sense though. You don't put a price that's as damning as $1,000 in a trailer.
I don't know, man. That's the thing. Like, I think you should be a lot more upfront about it, because it's going to sticker shock people one way or the other, and kind of obfuscating that information outside of it, and not just being like, we're confident that this is worth $1,000. Seems more like they're kind of coming at it at a weird pace.
I agree that there's a weird pace, and one wonders if that's tariff based or reactions to market conditions or whatever the heck they want to say. But I will argue that sticker shock doesn't exist anymore for things like this. And correct me if I'm wrong, or the verbiage maybe need to change. But like, to me, sticker shock is when you walk into a store and see like, oh my gosh, there's no way. Well, you're not selling Steam Decks or ROG Allies or whatnot in stores in 90% of those sales. So I would argue that most people going to get this device are prepared for what that price would be. At least that is maybe that's anecdotal, and I could be corrected. And any listener, please comment, because maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like if you're looking for a ROG Ally or ROG Ally X or Xbox Ally, or whatever you want to call it, you're paying a lot. Is that the thing? Is there a lot?
I do think that there are folks like that, but I know like when we got the announcement, we finally found out what the price for the Switch 2 was. That was a lot of sticker shock for folks. Like a lot of people were looking at a Nintendo console and thinking $450 for a Nintendo console is a lot of money. It does kind of, Red Beast's comment there about the reaction to the pricing of the Xbox Ally reminded me of the reaction to the PS3 pricing, which that was $100 more a year after the Xbox 360 had come out. It kind of feels like one of those situations where a lot of people are just not prepared mentally after 5 years of spending $500 on a bleeding edge console to then find out that not even a mid-gen refresh, but just a handheld portable version made by a third-party manufacturer is coming in at $1,000. And I think the issue for me is I'm still not entirely sure what you get for that $1,000. There's not like a promise that this is going to be more powerful than the Xbox Series X. It's not really clear like how much these specs are really going to impact, because the games are going to vary based on performance and battery life. And that's just a realm that we don't really deal in, because most of our consoles are PCs. They don't have batteries to worry about.
Right. I'm interested to see. I mean, obviously everybody wants to know how well it's going to sell. We don't even know how well Xboxes sell, right? I mean, with Costco taking them off the shelves, it makes good sense that they're not selling super well. And like, I know that's a story too. And frankly, like, I don't blame Costco. This thing's astronomically priced. The more shelf space that they have available, the more products they can sell. Xbox is selling the Xboxes they make, but they've reduced production. Brad Sam's reporting on that as well. It's just like, I don't know, man. Like it's very strange. And they have not given to your point, they've not given a reason to buy the Xbox ROG Ally X, ROG Xbox Ally, whatever. They've not given a reason to buy that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get access to your Xbox PC library, but they're also rolling out a lot of those features into current ROG Ally OSs. They've not given a reason to get this one that I have been able to pin down as, yep, $1,000 of my hard-earned money is going there.
Yeah, I think
that's
a
me.
lot of I think a lot of this really does come down to what is your use case. And this is the first entry into the handheld market for Xbox that is like their first kind of foray into this. Most Xbox fans are coming at it from a home console perspective. So you're asking for either enthusiasts or folks that have waited and not been interested in like an Xbox like home console, or for folks that are so dedicated to the ecosystem that they're wanting a handheld for outside of that they haven't already served in some other fashion. And it's just curious to kind of see, like, is the Xbox experience good enough to actually see that this is going to be a profitable market line for them? And we won't know, but I will say that the way that they did the pricing announcement was definitely not putting your front foot forward. You're muted.
Your best foot forward?
Best foot forward.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't really show confidence in
Right.
it. It shows like you are aware that people are going to be really kind of turned down. And I wonder, if we had different issues going on with current government policies, would these have come in cheaper? Would we have been able to see a 450 Ally and a 700 Ally X?
Right.
It's hard to know because so much money is having to be thrown at the manufacturing aspect of this. And we don't know if there's any kind of sweetheart deals with the ROG, with Asus and Microsoft right now.
No, you're absolutely right. I put a question into the chat. It's not a poll, but it's like a QA option to ask if anybody was planning to get an Xbox Ally X. Abdel saying he's upgrading from his Ally Z1, the 2023 version, to an Ally X. He's used to how ROG works, so he has expectations appropriately in check, and his current Z1 is struggling right now. Nissa says that Video Game Fight School said that if you have an Ally X, don't upgrade. If you have an OG or Z1, you should go ahead and upgrade. So those are helpful there. But anybody, whether you're planning to get one or not, there is a QA in chat. Please let us know, just because I'm curious what people think. I know Nerd Chat, which is Jose, pre-ordered one. I believe Chance over at the Nerd Chat also pre-ordered.
Yep.
I just don't know how I walk downstairs, tell my wife, like, hey, I pre-ordered $1,000 device. And she'll be like, oh, what are you going to do on it? The same thing I'm already doing. Like, I don't know that it works. But I am.
I mean, don't you do the same thing in a camper, just in a different location?
I'll fight you. Yep. That's a deep cut joke right there. That's a deep cut joke right there. For anybody listening, they're like, "What's he talking about?" Oh, I almost got a divorce over that. Let's see. Abdel says he got it for 900 euros, which is more than $1,000 American pre-tax compared to other product pricing. So it's only U.S. territories getting screwed. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I don't want to. I don't know enough about the rates to argue that point one way or another.
Yeah, I know Australia's getting a better deal than we are, just with the currency exchange.
You almost never hear that.
No, I know. Usually stuff's a lot more expensive down there.
Yeah.
Speaking of down under.
Oh, I bet we're going to make the same transition. You go first. Go ahead.
Speaking of down under, isn't it kind of weird how a lot of stores have started to remove Xbox from their shelves, especially like Costco?
I don't know how that's a down under joke. I was going to make the whole JD Phoenix from Gears 4 is an Australian. Now he's playing Wolverine thing. But
that is a stretch. I went straight from like the Australian dollar is doing better than American dollar right now.
Oh, okay.
You're like, right. I'm gonna pull Wolverine out of nowhere, Gears out of nowhere, and make a comment about Costco.
The actor's Australian.
I know.
Place down under.
That's fine.
All right. We're both bad at jokes, clearly. Yeah, Costco removing Xboxes from their shelves. At this, like, they're not selling. So, and they're priced so high, I don't see them selling. And stores like that purchase in bulk have been struggling to buy Xboxes in bulk due to production reduction.
Yep.
And why not? Like, I don't know why anybody's mad at them. Xboxes aren't moving units at massive and big rates. It's priced so many people out of consideration that I'm not mad at Costco for it. Plus, Xbox themselves have devalued the need for a console. I'm not saying they've devalued the name Xbox, because one of the things that's very funny to me, Logan, is that we have a lot of people, Xbox is dead type approaches.
Very.
And I understand the Xbox box, the physical hardware, certainly seems to be dying and moving on. But Xbox has been doing great this year with multiple first-party releases. We're on the eve of Ninja Gaiden 4, Keeper, and Outer Worlds 2.
Yep. And Call of Duty.
Keep an eye on XEP for a few weeks. And Call of Duty is around the corner.
Yep.
Like, are you kidding me right now? Xbox is doing great.
Yeah.
The Xboxes are not. And so it's really contextual for what people mean.
Some would say that Xboxes should just go full Sega.
Ryan McCaffrey would say that, would he not? Let's see here. A couple comments from the chat that I think is worth checking out. Mr. Kima says Costco are wholesalers, not retailers. Yep, fair. Abdel says he wonders what GTA 6 will do for Series S units sold. Very much depends on how much the Series S is worth in comparison to a PlayStation 5 at that point, and the optimization. Nissa says most kids I work with don't want a console. They want PCs or tablets. I can echo that from my own experience working with the youth. And Clutch Quando says yet another reminder that there are more players on Xbox consoles than ever in the history of the brand. And he's absolutely correct there. So it's truly, to me, a matter of what are you asking and what are you trying to say? And the people that are saying X, Y, or Z, are they saying things practically, or are they saying it for clicks or inflammatory baits or anything else? Because I watch that and I listen to a lot of people that yell on podcasts, want you to dive into like this groupthink mindset when it's so much more nuanced than that.
Yeah. Yeah. And at the end of the day, if you have access to the games, I think that's really what's important. I think, oh my gosh, Iron Lords have been saying for a long time that COG is always saying they just need one game. They just need one game to really kind of prove that they were worthy of being a console to own. And ever since they've gone third party with a lot of their software, especially the first party stuff that they're making that may not have been 5 years ago, it's interesting to me that, especially with the Xbox Tokyo Game Show, they are truly pushing the mindset that no longer are these world exclusives, no longer are these backwards compatible, or no longer are these going to be something that whatever buzzword that Microsoft decides that they want to do now. Like it used to be like console exclusive, then it used to be day one Game Pass. Now it's Xbox Play Anywhere. And it's clear that the goalposts are moving. And it's one of those situations where I think Xbox is trying to address the market where they're at instead of trying to force their way into a market that is saturated with gamers that have already kind of picked their two consoles,
right?
Whether it's PC and Nintendo, or Nintendo and PlayStation, or Nintendo and Xbox, or Xbox and PlayStation. Folks have kind of found where they're going to go. And Xbox has always just not kind of been there. I think the more games that come to, like we got Microsoft Flight Simulator coming to PlayStation 5 later on. It's great for folks that want to actually check out that game over on PlayStation. They're actually going to be supporting PSVR 2, which I think is the first time like I've seen a company, like a first party company, support them that is like a major competitor. It's crazy to think like Microsoft is supporting PSVR 2.
Yeah.
In some
And
cases,
PlayStation's not.
yeah. Like I was arguing the other day with some folks in chat. I was like, PlayStation has produced 3 games for that hardware,
Mm-hmm.
and they've had a lot of third party support, but nowhere near the MetaQuest.
The frustrating thing is PSVR 2, good VR tech.
Yeah.
I know I've talked many times on this channel. I love VR. I love my MetaQuest 3.
Yeah.
I think VR is fantastic. One thing, and one thing you have to say, players of Microsoft Flight Simulator, they go all out, right? Like you could put me on Ambien and I would fall asleep equally as fast as playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like either one, I'm out. I'm not interested. I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
But people that live and breathe flight sim, live and breathe it. If there are PlayStation players that get into that, like they're going to be full VR optics, flight stick. They're going to be decked out and have a blast with what is objectively a great video game. Flight Sim 24 is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what I mean? Like that's really cool. Fascinating to me to see that in a PlayStation State of Play. That was really interesting. Yeah. It is not strange to see Xbox stuff on PlayStation anymore by any means, right? Like it's old hat at this point. I mean, Forza Horizon 6 was announced, sort of, no gameplay, weird, dumb. But it's announced and they're like PlayStation 5 later. Okay, cool. Like nobody's surprised, no one's outraged. Mm-hmm. Flight Sim 24 at a State of Play though. Interesting.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to kind of see like how, because now that we have like Costco's pulling out from putting Xbox on their shelves, and granted, I imagine that the marketing costs to have stuff on shelves or in pallets for Costco is probably pretty expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And if they just aren't, if Microsoft isn't seeing the sales at Costco's for their products, they just may not have renewed the deal with Xbox to have that stuff go there. Mm-hmm. We'll have to see like who else still carries that stuff, because going to Walmart's, going to Target's, going to Best Buy's, these brick and mortar stores, I still see usually somewhere between 4 to 8 feet worth of marketing space. You know, depending, they've got like a couple racks worth of stuff. Mm-hmm. But you look at Nintendo and PlayStation, those guys have anywhere from 8 to 16 feet of marketable space that they pay for on a regular basis. And even like most GameStops have like relegated the Xbox stuff to the back of the store. Nintendo's up front. PlayStation has a pretty good chunk of the store, and Xbox is in the back. And yet Xbox is producing more games than anyone else. Their games are all doing fairly well, and they're better supported across multiple ecosystems. And it's just really surprising to me that that's the state of Xbox right now.
I would agree that it's fascinating, and it makes me just wonder, you know, like where are we headed?
Yeah.
And I'm not mad about any of it. I'm just interested.
I mean,
it's all different. It's the word unprecedented gets thrown around way too much, particularly in the political world.
Yeah.
But truly, we are at an unprecedented time to see first party video games try to produce hardware via third party and publish in multiple places, multiple aspects, and show up in theoretical competitors' showcases.
Yeah.
It's almost unpredictable what the results will be, you know?
Yes and no, because I feel like the writing's on the wall. And it's where is Microsoft as a Microsoft company pushing? And right now, like before it was, they were focusing on letting Xbox kind of do what Xbox wanted to do. Then they started kind of like saying, okay, well, we're going to be doing cloud servers. We're going to be doing Azure servers and stuff. So we need our games to start mandating that their server structures are based around Azure, and that cloud gaming is something that is kept in mind for the future. Mm-hmm. Now we're seeing like Satya Nadella pushing millions, if not billions of dollars into AI. And Xbox is already talking about how they are going to be using AI to upscale old games, to quickly help devs kind of like create gray box scenarios for games to be able to iterate on development faster, to get games out quicker so that they cost less and stuff. And I'm willing to bet we're probably going to see Xbox, especially with this AMD deal that they made. They're probably going to see like how many fake pixels, how many fake frames can we generate with the next Xbox to reduce the cost of the hardware while still putting out a like an actual physical console for cheaper, and try and keep the costs down so that they can stay relevant in the market.
It'll be it. Yeah. Where do they go? I just don't know. You know what I mean? I wish I knew. And it's also a sign genuinely of us getting older. We're just older. We want that traditional element to it, and it just doesn't exist anymore. So
I had to take some Tylenol this morning.
That's what made me weird. Let me tell you. Shout out to King Webb, says salute panel. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Activision got some backlash based on their skins, and of course they decided to cancel some of their big brand crossovers for Black Ops 7. I thought this was a funny news story, Logan, because why would you cancel? Like, people buy those skins. Like, people can argue all day long that it's bad for the game. I'm not defending it either. I think it's really bad to have Beavis and Butthead not look Call of Duty-esque in Call of Duty. Like, I want the Call of Duty version of different characters. Yeah. But people do buy them.
Oh, yeah.
And to your point about Satya, that man's like, hey, give me my money.
Yeah.
So why are we canceling things that make money when Call of Duty Black Ops is at an all-time low for appeal?
Yeah.
It's very strange, and like, I don't care. I truly don't. I just think it's funny to read and see that.
Do you want me to put on the tinfoil hat?
Tinfoil hat me, my friend.
Then
we'll get into
real
stuff for the.
I'm going to put it in the tinfoil hat real quick. I'm going to say that the reason these deals were canceled is because they're going to renegotiate the terms with some of these big brands and IPs. Because I have a feeling that what's going to happen is that Call of Duty is not going to be rid of their IP branded skins, because those do make a lot of money. I think what they're going to do is eventually find a way to toggle that content so that you can see it or you cannot see it. And I think that the only way that they can do something like that without breaking current contracts with IPs who expect a certain return on, like, my skin is going to be in your game, and people are going to see that and get nostalgic and then want to go to the store to buy that skin for themselves. I think the only way that you can do something that kind of breaks those contracts is to rewrite the contracts and say, like, hey, we are going to reserve the right to allow players to be able to toggle off your skins if that is what they choose. And you have to be okay with that before we renegotiate these deals. And if you want to renegotiate the deals and ask for more money up front or what have you, then that's fine. But that's why we are planning on doing that, because they want to slow the flow of IP coming in and then build in safeguards for future Call of Duties to allow them to please the player, because that's important, while also getting their cake and eat it too. That's my tinfoil hat theory. I
like your tinfoil hat theory.
Yeah.
I hope it's not a tinfoil hat theory. I hope it's real, because straight up,
I can have that.
Love the idea of a toggle rather. Love it. Love the idea of a toggle. Like, I also love it in both directions. If I could toggle everybody into like their spooky skins, you know, or if I could toggle everybody into their Ninja Turtles or their Star Wars, like if I could do that, even better, right? I like that idea. But I don't, who knows what that means. And there's room.
Treyarch can have that one. You guys, Raven, have it. Just put me in there as a game designer in the credits somewhere so I can point to it.
I hope, speaking of Treyarch and Raven and all of them, Activision in general, I hope that this newfound kinship between console makers, PlayStation and Xbox, they free up some of those old Spider-Man games, put them on back compat, remaster them. I don't care.
That is, I guess, because Sony owns the publishing rights to Spider-Man games. That's what's holding this back, you think?
I mean, I think that, and probably a few other, like, there's a division of who owns what, Marvel and Spider-Man
I
and
mean, yeah.
Activision, but
Uh,
people like money, make it happen.
Sony's far less likely to clutch their pearls about exclusivity nowadays that they're seeing that money roll in. So I mean, they just announced computer speakers, which was laughable for a state of play, if I'm being 100% honest. And they didn't even give a price on that, which means they are 100% ashamed of whatever that price is. So I'm 100% expecting those to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 to $400, which that's whatever. I mean, I got my little edifiers in front of me, and they're nice, and they're just as good as most other speaker systems out there and stuff. But yeah, it would be kind of cool if we could. And I mean, the Ally X and the Ally give access to Steam, which means Xbox fans who are buying it for the Xbox access on a handheld are going to have just as much access to Sony published content as you would if you were just a PC player at this point. So I think that's honestly something that would be kind of cool to just see a lot more cooperative engagement with some of the IPs that are kind of historically locked to older gen systems.
Very well said, and you're right. I just wish people made things more available. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just put yourself out there.
Right. Let me give you money. That's what I think. All right. Let's tackle some of the things that came out of both the Tokyo Game Show and State of Play that we have not already touched on. Obviously, I think Forza Horizon 6 being set in Japan is one that a lot of people are really excited about.
Yeah.
And that's great. I wish we'd gotten some proper gameplay instead of just an image of Mount Fuji, but here we are. Strange. That said, there's no reason to doubt Playground, except, and this is not doom and glooming, mind you. We know their attention's divided as a studio, right? So you got Fable.
Yeah, they got Fable.
I think it'll be neat though. This year has been the year of Obsidian. Next year has the potential to be the year of Playground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you think about it in those terms.
Them in Coalition. If they do anything with outside of E-Day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, as far as like multiple game releases and the potential to hit big.
It's ironic that is now the mindset that we are putting ourselves in, because Obsidian has just done so well at releasing multiple games this year. It just happened to line up, It's funny that now we're like, oh, Playground's going to have 2 next year. So, who's going to have 3 in 2027?
Right.
So
I like this. Watch how I do this one, Logan. Beans in chat. Hi, Beans. Says Wolverine looks brutal. Clutch Kwando comes in and says, glad Wolverine is getting proper gore. I agree with you. Another game that's getting proper gore is Gungrave Gore. That's getting a remaster. That came out 6 minutes ago. I want to say in 2023, but that game's getting a remaster. That was one of the Tokyo Game Show announcements. Cool. I think that's neat. I was also happy to see 007 First Light getting more attention, though I don't need to see more. I don't need to see more of 007. I feel like every time I see it, I'm like, Hitman. And I'm just like, cool. But I'm excited for it day one. It was neat to see, though, that Fatal Frame getting a remake for Crimson Butterfly. That
Crimson Butterfly back in the PS2 era, if I remember correctly. Fatal Frame, one of those series that came out that was after we were waiting for different Resident Evils. And as a PlayStation fan, after, back in that era, because I had them all, but I was always kind of like stuck to my GameCube for Animal Crossing and Smash and Mario Kart and stuff. But I was also a big PS2 person. So had a lot of the Fatal Frames and enjoyed those when I was working at a GameStop. And that was one of those ones when people would come in asking for, something that was scary like Resident Evil, but different. I'd always point to Fatal Frame and be like, dude, this is a good franchise. It's nice to see that. Happy to see Gungrave, man. The character designer for Gungrave is the same as Trigun, which is one of my favorite all-time animes of the day. And Gungrave is just one of those brutal gunslinger kind of, like hack and slash games that's just like, it's arcade fun. And Grave is just it's just a real bad. That was a really bad way to kind of mute it, but I really sorry. It was an inspiration failed by just old age at this point, but yeah, looking forward to seeing that. I looked up on Xbox Game Pass because I was wondering what the price was and the release date. And turns out that if you want the complete bundle for Gungrave, like the OG one, it's like $8 right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Absolutely pick up the original for $8. But
yeah,
weird that they're doing. It felt like a lot of this was remakes for the Tokyo Game Show, because we had Gungrave Gore, which is a remake. We had Double Dragon Revive, which is a remake, but that they're being done by Arc Systems, which is wild because they're usually Guilty Gear company. Fatal Frame 2 remake. You had Monster Hunter Stories and Monster Hunter Stories 2, which isn't remakes, but kind of new additions to Xbox. Then you had, what was the other one? HD 2D remake of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, which is also a remake.
Now, I'm not upset by remakes. I know that became a conversation, I think, for the industry and enthusiasts, but I'm all for remakes and remasters. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
But it did feel like this showcase was a lot of, here's updates to things you know about, or here's a lot of, hey, you can play this again if you want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't quite have that same impact that I think you would get if it were new titles or sequel titles. But that was just, I don't mind remakes or remasters. I like old games. I'm desperate for the games that I love to be remade and remastered. So I don't mind it, but it did feel like there was a lack of oomph in this game show.
I think the issue that I run into, which Todd Oxter comes in with some fun information about, Gungrave Gore was released on 2022 on Steam. I think that was the PC release, because I think that's when it came out in on PC as well too.
Well, and Kevin Ainsworth saying that this is a remake of 2002, so the 2022 one was a sequel. There's no way to know, and there's no way for us to look it up in 2-3 seconds, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll have like some artificial intelligence that could get that kind of information for us, but it's just not possible now.
No, it's impossible.
The issue that I ran into with this was looking at how many remakes and remasters there were when the alternative was updates to Microsoft Flight Simulator, updates on Ninja Gaiden 4, which they announced the hero mode, which is kind of like their accessibility mode, just allowed folks to kind of auto dodge, auto parry, and master ninja mode, which is effectively like the sadist mode, if that's what you want. It's kind of like whatever the top one is. I can't think of what the top one is called. The difficulty mode in Doom, Hurt Me Baby or something.
Yeah. Hurt Me Plenty is the normal.
Hurt Me Plenty.
You mean in like Insanity or something like that?
Sure.
Really hard is what you're trying to say. Who?
Yes.
That's what you're trying to say.
I don't want to say that though, because that sounds weird coming from you. Please don't say really hard again. Nothing.
Oh.
So looking at like what we're getting updates to Fallout 76, which I put 75 in the show notes. I noticed. I saw that. We're getting updates to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're getting an update to Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out. There's nothing about Winterboro. Update to Age of Mythology. Update for Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Like,
can I tell you there was a game in that showcase that made me want to punch an infant?
Was it called Animo?
No, that was hilarious.
Okay.
No, Rhythm Doctor.
Oh yeah.
About had me get an aneurysm, go to the hospital. One, I don't have any rhythm. I'm always half a beat off. I can't pick up on patterns in music well. And then there was so much flashing that I just started like keeling over, just like,
yeah,
it was crazy. I appreciate what it was going for, but I about died.
yeah. That was one I was like, this is a weird WarioWare take on a game that I am not interested in the slightest.
Clutch Pondo's never heard me say that before.
Punch an infant. But there's, I mean, that's the thing is like looking at this showcase, everything was either a remake, an update to a game that already exists, or a couple little like reveals for stuff that is on the precipice of releasing. Like there wasn't really anything that stood out to me outside of the fact that we got like the official announcement of Forza Horizon 6 and then something about Winter Brawl. And that was about it.
Well, so if you're Xbox, you're saying, wait a minute, you got the Xbox Ally, you got Forza Horizon, and you got I don't know what else. What else might they like spotlight as being a big deal in this? Ninja Gaiden.
Exactly.
Stuff. And like
exactly.
To me, why do a Tokyo Game Show? At the, like Phil and Sarah shouldn't be out there for that kind of stuff. I think it's too small.
Well, I think they're out there to make more deals because looking at what they did bring, everything that they did bring was genuinely focused on Japan. Like they're bringing the update to Microsoft Flight Simulator, where you get to fly over any part of Japan that you want in just about any kind of plane that you want, historical or not. And you also get 18 multiplayer maps in Call of Duty Black Ops 7, many of them set in Japan. Age of Mythologies, getting Japanese mythology coming to it. Nothing about Winter Brawl is Japanese at all. I don't even understand why it was there.
Nissa, he's going hard at you today, and it's hilarious.
It's because she finally got the release date.
She did.
Bruce Lee DLC in Hitman, which I don't even know if Bruce Lee was actually Japanese. So that confuses me because I don't know my history on him. But you had Monster Hunter stuff.
No,
very Japanese.
Hong Kong American martial artists. Yeah.
Why is Bruce Lee like? They're just like, yeah, he's Asian of a sort. Like, it was weird. But there's so many things in here that they did a good job of. Like, my point being is that they did a good job of focusing the content to stuff that was Japanese. You know, Double Dragon, very Japanese. You've got Hotel Barcelona from Suda51's idea of like it. You know, that kind of stuff made sense. And I'm glad that they did the show for that.
I think your point is well taken, but I do think they are using Tokyo Game Show to speak to Asia because of the time zone and that approach, not specifically to Japan. That is what I think, right?
Then why is it called the Tokyo Game Show, Luke?
Because it's housed in Tokyo, same way that like you have...
we don't call it the San Francisco or the Los Angeles Game Awards.
They do have LA Live though, right?
You know what? Stop. No.
Okay. All right. Fine. I do think that's why they're doing it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. But nonetheless, I was left wanting after this Tokyo Game Show, the same way I felt that I was left wanting after the State of Play. But I also totally see that there were good things in it. I think the expectations, and this is too often, I don't mean to rehash a discussion that we consistently have, but too often the expectations are for something too big. My firm belief is that there are too many big game shows or poor messaging rollouts. Like if the Ally X was going to be shown, it should have had all the info, you know?
It's so interesting to me. I don't know if Xbox is going to do one of these, but it would be really nice to see one of those Digital Foundry videos that really did kind of take the Xbox Ally and did a side-by-side. Be like, hey, here's the Ally and here's the Ally X. Here's what the resolutions and the gameplay times are going to be expected for Cyberpunk 2077 or 007 First Light or Fallout 76, or, you know, show like why those consoles are going to be fun and enjoyable outside of the normal sitting at front of your TV at home experience. Because right now they've only kind of shown like people holding them. They haven't done like a really good job of selling me on why this is better than other Asus handhelds or I guess like a Steam Deck and stuff like that.
They haven't shown you why it's better than a Switch even. And I know that sounds silly, but like right now I can do all the things on those handhelds on my PC or on my TV. The idea of the handheld is that you can be mobile with it, but what the Switch offers, and they do a great job marketing this all the way back to the original marketing of the first Switch, dock, TV, boom.
That's missing.
You know what I mean? Like
I think that's what I want.
Missing. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what I want too.
I genuinely like now that you bring that up, because I was looking at the Steam Deck 2 nights ago, and they had the LCD for 300 something on their store.
That's a good price.
I was trying to price that. Yeah, I was trying to price that with like the dock and think like, okay, well, if I wanted to go like Steam, because I'm getting more into Steam, would I be able to grab that in the dock for less than a Switch 2? And how old is that? And are they coming out with a new, like, I'm more invested in that than I am the Xbox. And the only reason I'm interested in like what an Xbox would actually do is if it is a fully integrated, like first party thing that gives me all of my console hardware, like a console play and all the PC play. Like I need both. And I don't want to, the system that they're doing right now hasn't given me the confidence that that's what I'm actually getting.
Right. No, you're dead on correct. Before we go forth and do our last little bit, I do want to thank the 20 plus people that have hit the like button. Please continue to do that. Thank you so much. We have 24 people hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
And I want to read off our patrons, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Because they keep the lights on. No jokes intended. They keep the lights on, and
how many
coming? You know, you're judgmental. All right. Big shout outs to our tier 2 and 3 patrons. Go for going to patreon.com/Xbox Expansion Pass to include Matto1606, Matt Valdez, Clutch Quando, Omen, Jesse Prius, Fado, Aaron G, Nick Bentley, The Scarecrow, Ken Rosing, Fabian Winkler, Regis Stella the Brony Pirate, Rob Frawley II, Tao Zochi, Nicholas Johnson, Randall Thor 19, Hafrican, Game Positive, Jampack Sam, Red Beast, Dano12, DJ Hero, Brendan Myers, aka The Winter Gamer, the Lord Sir Master James Suddy, and Sony's VP of Marketing, Kevin Butler. Thank you guys for supporting us over at patreon.com/Xbox Expansion Pass. We appreciate you. All right, my friend, we had a couple questions come in from a couple different places. This one comes from Omen, one of our patrons, drops it in our Discord and says, what are your price predictions for the PlayStation 6 and Xbox Series X?
Ooh.
I think we just saw a preview of them, 600 and 1,000. I think you're looking at 700 and 1,000. That's what
you think there's going to be that much disparity between the... Okay, so sorry.
Well, you know what? I should back that up.
Yeah.
I do not think there's 2 SKUs. I should stop that.
Okay.
I think if there are 2 SKUs, there's 700 and 1,000.
Yeah.
And like the difference might be one has a disk drive, one doesn't, right? But as far as power, I don't think there'll be 2 different power SKUs. That's what I should clarify. I think it was a really good experiment that was very poorly implemented. And I think that's largely due to Xbox's very bad rollout of launch titles. If they had nailed Halo, if they had nailed Redfall, had they nailed Starfield, we'd have a very different generation.
What's Redfall?
Oh man, I even put it on Blue Sky last night. Can you imagine if that game hadn't botched? The spooky vibes, that great atmosphere.
They released it at the wrong time. They should have given them more time to be able to do it. If
they had followed the grounded method,
yeah.
Oh, that game would have been great.
Yeah.
So I think you're looking at, for the Hot Mama Jamma version of either console, you're looking at $1,000. That's what I think.
Man. We're expecting these in 2028.
2027.
2027.
Yep.
So yeah,
and that would mean, in theory, barring something.
I mean, we're going to be in the same regime for the next,
that's what I'm saying,
20 years.
25 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
tariffs
think
are probably going to stay the same. So manufacturing costs, if something drastic doesn't happen, I would be willing to say that it's not unheard of to think that we're going to be moving to $800 consoles. As much as that sucks.
I just want consoles to be consoles. Like, I know I don't mean like plug and play, but I mean there needs to be a simplicity to it, because that simplicity allows accessibility. Go to the store, buy this thing, or go online, buy this thing, and you play these things.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by that. I don't mean like back in my day, you just plugged it. I don't mean that, right? I just mean if you buy an Xbox, you can play Xbox games. You buy a PlayStation, you can play PlayStation. Like that is what it needs to be, not versions, variants, drivers, that kind of thing.
You buy a PlayStation, you'll play PlayStation and Xbox games at this point.
But if you buy a Portal, you need to have a PlayStation. If you buy a ROG Ally, do you get to have the same stuff that you would have if you had a ROG Ally X? The blurred element of future generations is going to remain blurred, but hopefully they find a way to navigate that well. That's what I mean.
I like the standalone mentality that consoles bring to gaming. And Nerd Chat comes in and says, PC gamers opening their arms up, says, bring it in for a hug. It was interesting to talk to Daddy D Wally over at the Nerd Chat in private DMs, like in our group chat. We were talking about it because the comment came up, and sorry for spilling the tea on this, about why there's a difference in mentality between console and PC players, like why PC players don't get upset about this and console players don't get upset about that. And I think it really does come down to that mindset that I think people looking for the next Xbox and the next PlayStation are looking for that system that they can just use as their kind of all-in-one device underneath their nice big TV that gives them the access to the apps that they want to use for streaming, the games that they want to play, and they're comfortable and they're familiar with that. And they don't want to have to worry about a PC desk and a tower and multiple monitors and tons of cables that everyone says need to be cleaned up and tidied, when I don't care. It looks like a rat nest and I don't have to worry about it because it's behind my desk. And or Luke having to have 6 lights for a still orange look. It's one of those things. Like,
what are you talking?
People do. I don't know.
Light 2 here.
Yeah.
And I have a fancy light right there.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's just those are the key lights. We're not talking about the accent lights you have.
I don't like above lights. I like that activates.
Nobody likes above lights. Above lights do nothing for anyone ever, unless you were trying to film a scary film. Okay. Never light yourself from above.
I really feel like we touched a nerve just now.
No, this is just straight up like theater background coming through. Like, okay. You just do not. That is how you murder your lead character. I think if we're gonna look at a PS6. Which honestly, I'm thinking like if I go for next gen, I may just go with the PS6 and just leave my Xbox as my PC, because it does a really good job of being that. I just want my console titles, like my console games, to be accessible on my PC as well too. But cloud gaming is helping with that, so that's what I want to see. But it'll be interesting to kind of see like how that works in the future. But I'm thinking, it's going to be like around 800, but I'm always bad about these pricing things.
Yeah, but I like the thought experiment of like, what are you going to get next? Because like, I don't think I'd get a PlayStation. To me, there's no reason to get a PlayStation now, because PlayStation is now doing what Xbox did. The only reason to get an Xbox now is that you'll have multiple storefronts. I don't think there's a reason to leave any established library that you have behind. So I doubt Xbox players are buying PlayStations. I doubt PlayStation players are buying Xboxes. I think if they move in any direction, they're moving to PC. Right?
Yeah.
I don't see any jump over, and that is why. And I think companies have realized this, and that's why they're like, all right, we'll put our games there, because they'll play the games. They're just not going to buy the hardware for that back. Like, they're not going to leave their own previously established library.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not leaving my Xbox library behind. It's too good. It's too thorough. My PlayStation library is pretty good because I've always been a multi-console gamer, and I do love PlayStation. I was hardcore in PS1, PS2, and PS4. Right? Yeah. But my 360 and my Xbox One late gen, Xbox One era was where I lived. So I just don't see people leaving their libraries, but they'll happily play the games. If they do leave a library, they're going to want access to it somewhere else, and that's where the PC element comes in. So I think that's what happens. I don't know. DS Omen drops a question for us, says, do you think the next console, think you will get the next gen on release? I do not feel the need to upgrade for sure. That's a great question. I think as an enthusiast press person, I don't know that I could, like, unless I'm in financial, like, real struggles, I don't know that I would be able to hold back on that, like, you know, that like FOMO feeling. Yeah. And then there's also the added puzzle piece of consoles are more expensive now when you wait, which is weird.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. It's a good question.
I will, because having better hardware at the end of the day means that a lot of my backwards compatible stuff is going to play better, and that they've done a decent job of bringing a lot of that stuff up. One of the biggest arguments for the PS Pro or the PS5 Pro was that Ghost of Yotei was was going to have ray tracing with 60 frames per second at 4K, and I was like, that's something that I would, because I'm not going to wait for the PC launch for that. That's going to be I have to play the game like soon. So there's that would be my one reason for wanting it. Whatever the next hardware is for the console, I will most definitely get that, because there wasn't a mid-gen refresh to worry about for Xbox, and I'm already still at my, you know what, Clutch Quando, I know the 4K is in quotations. Everything is 4K in quotations in this day and age. We don't have real resolutions. We have generated resolutions. That's just the nature of it. I don't care if it says 8K on the box. It's still going to be.
I'm going to say to you what I've said to every girl I've ever dated and failed in a relationship with.
Yes.
Calm down.
You know, this is why your relationships failed.
That's a good point. Love you, honey.
No, at the end of the day, I think the thing that we really want is just something that is easy to pick up and play, that will offer us the most smooth experience for the content that we want. I think that the price point is really going to make me question, do I get a console or do I just upgrade my GPU? Because they're going to be about the same price. And I've got a lot more content at my accessible on my PC right now through like Steam and Xbox and everything, all the other storefronts, than I do if I have to pick one or the other console upstairs.
Yeah.
And that kills me.
It's tough being us, Logan.
Yeah.
It's tough.
First world problems.
It is.
I'm going to go get some more chocolate milk.
And you should, buddy. You deserve that chalky milk. All right, man. I feel like that's a good place to kind of wind it down, as it were. I'm, after I do my homework today, I'm anxious to play some Silent Hill F. Really stoked for that one. I love horror games. I'm going to watch more of Cabinet of Curiosities, and my wife and I are watching a scary movie that I can't remember the name of. I need to go back to it. And I'll tell you, but you told me Haunted Hotel was one I should check out.
It's a cute show. Yeah. On Netflix, Haunted Hotel's available. Cabinet of Curiosities. I got to remember to look that up, because I don't pay for the full version of Netflix. I pay for the $8 version of Netflix. So it may not be something that's on there for the $8 plebs.
It should be, because it's like their big marketing beat. They'll send you ads, I'm sure, but it's good.
The thumbnail for this is La Llorona. I'm in. That's getting added.
There's one bad episode so far, and I'm 8 episodes in. I think 6 episodes.
Okay.
One bad episode, and the rest I'm really enjoying.
I mean, I know I'm going to be working on putting more time into Alien Earth tonight.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
I'm excited for the spooky season. I already got little ghosties up. I got cobwebs and stuff going on here, my little pumpkin lights and whatnot. So I'm ready. Like, get some candy. I'll pretend that there are kids outside, and I'll just eat the candy myself.
That's one. You shouldn't say that. That'll get you on a list. 2, I know you have lights in the background, Logan. That's terrible. Shame on you.
These are decorative, And not patron paid?
What? Patron paid is keep the lights on pays for StreamYard and Podbean and all that stuff. People are gonna think they're like buying me, like, I don't know.
Luke, are we done?
We are, man. We're just digging a hole here. Oh, goodness. All right. Big thank you to everybody that has checked out the show today, dropped a like, supported us, hung out with us. We really appreciate you all. We hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Logan, you got anything coming out you want to point out to us?
Keelhold is going to be doing our community episode this weekend. I'm going to be sitting down in a couple hours to record with them to talk about the second act of season 17, the heist, and get some feedback on what people think of the most recent event in Sea of Thieves, where people are asked to come together to try and steal a painting from a fortress and then turn it in for arguably the most amount of gold any single item in Sea of Thieves has ever offered, and just how contested those have been. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, though.
There you go. There you go. Keep your eye on XEP in the weeks to come. If you follow our tracks of interviews for this year, you might have some idea of what we're doing next. That's going to be it for us. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care.